Welcome to webinar. This webinar is organized by PPM Express, and today we'll talk about the modern project portfolio management for Microsoft Office 365. Again, this webinar is by PPM Express. You can always go to our website, ppm.express, and to learn more about what we offer in our solutions. This webinar is being recorded. Today, agenda for the webinar is that we'll review what Microsoft has and offer it for it as part of the Office 365 platform. We won't go to any third-party solution this time from other vendors for task management, project management. We'll focus on what Microsoft has. We'll talk about the architecture of your PPM solution that you might choose, because there are several options. We'll talk about the build versus product options for setting up your PMO and portfolio management approach. We'll provide overview of our approach and our product. It will be quick. We won't spend too much time on that. And then we'll have a time for questions, and I would be more than happy to answer any of them. So I'll do all my best to answer them. Just to reiterate, this is a recorded webinar. We will send the recording typically next day, so you should get it by email, and you can share it with your colleagues and with your team. So okay, let's get started. So if you look on PMO and requirements from project portfolio management in organization, in most cases, like we can have definitely, like, this list can be indefinitely big, but there are a few main things that companies want to make sure that their teams and their employees are performing, delivering projects, and doing that with the highest possible efficiency. Companies want to, and leadership want to be able to view all the work that is available in organization, and to make that information transparent for everyone organization. That might depend on organization to organizations about transparency, but in most cases, no matter where the work is managed, the PMO and leadership, they want to be able to see it so they can act on that information. Important question is all about the resource workload utilization. With change and with all constant scarce of resources, we need to be able to better manage workload utilization, assign. We need to be able to answer questions like when we can start some organization, when we can start a project, and so on. So everything around the resource workload and management, it is important, and not many tools that Microsoft has support all that information. For some organization, it is important to track budgets and have a control financial aspects of projects and portfolios. We all work within the budget constraints. For some organizations, due to maturities, it's not that critical, or it's done in slightly in less formal way. For some organization, it's part of every project and needs to be a part of their routine and the platform supporting part of their project portfolio management approach. Analytics, we have all the data. We cannot, it's not enough. We need to be able to run reports to analyze, and based on the data and based on everything that we have around our projects, that leadership can make some decisions, corrective actions, or change directions for organizations. So ability to get those insights and run reports on that information, it is critical. If you look on the Microsoft stack and offering, we have Project for Web, we have Microsoft Project Online, we have Planner, we have To Do, or we had Wunderlist, we have Microsoft Azure DevOps. Some organization, like here I have a slide for Jira, but again, like you might have some third-party solution, like you might have ServiceNow, you might have Jira, you might have Workfront, you might have all other additional tools that you might have. And a reality is teams prefer to use tools that best fit their way of doing things. Teams want to have that flexibility to choose a tool that best suits them. New workforce is already in place, and teams are prefer lightweight tools versus the monsters with complex functionality with old UI, and that's definitely a preference of new generations of workforce. Same time, with all those tools in place, leadership needs to be able to, first of all, get project done, get works done, get all that analytics insight and data to support the decision. So they need to be able to see all that information. And PMO, it's mostly what we see. It's transforming a little bit from controlling and dictating or enforcing uh, uh, unit to more unit transforming into like observing, monitoring, advisory, and with the goal to increase efficiency and make processes of managing projects better and more improved. Right now, if you go to every tool that Microsoft provides, I will provide some content pros and overview. Again, it is maybe to some extent it is subject, but we are trying to be realistic here uh, uh, about what's good, what's bad, what and like all the aspects of the tool. So let's talk on the project for web. Definitely, it's a tool for entry level, mid level. Like, sorry if anyone says that you need to run multi-year project with 2,000 lines in it. It's not a tool for that, at least at this time. It is lightweight, it is flexible, it's web-based, it has a scheduling engine, it's modern look and feel. But, within app itself, you really cannot do many change and really many customization. It's still in early days, and like it has its own limitation. But it's built on the Power Platform. You can extend it with custom built Power Apps. You can where the project component, that schedule component, is just a part of bigger picture. But one thing that you need to be to be aware of that it is Power Platform. It's a low code solution, and it means a custom build. It's easy to build something, some very quick solution, but to get it to production state, you're talking about the development, you're talking about testing, you're talking about the maintenance, support, troubleshooting, change management, deployment, managing security. Uh, some things that are automated, but still kind of like it's a custom built app, and you need to be aware of that. Building something very big, it can be around it's a project. It is a varied approach, but you need to understand that it's more than just a build. It's a long-term management administration of the platform. Regarding the cost, upfront cost is quite inexpensive, $10 per user per month. It's very good for managing quick projects, so very affordable. But again, like you need resource management, you need Power Apps, you need more space in CDS, you need more flows, you need Power BI, you want custom vendor apps. It's all adds up in the licenses per month. You pay for all Power Apps, you pay for Power Automate, you pay for more expensive plans, and so on. So it's nice and it's good. It's lightweight. It's perfect for many scenarios. But again, like consider all the options there as well. Microsoft Project Online. It's really the enterprise PPM tool and enterprise offering from Microsoft. Predictive and waterfall approach. It can be very strict, it can be very structured, can be highly controlled. It provides a high maturity of project management, portfolio management process. It's really targeting the professional users. And one of the challenges that we are in this space for the last 10 years, one of the challenges that regular team members, they don't like Microsoft Project. Like they cannot use it for time reporting, for task management. It's a nightmare from user experience, but at the same time, it's super powerful. You can create a very complex solution and manage very complex projects. It's quite closed. There are multiple solutions from vendors and from partners, and our part company Filmpro has multiple of those. You can integrate with other solutions, but in the modern world, let's be frank, there's no agile support. All the change that companies claim that they made ability to run agile projects on Microsoft Project Online, it's not true agile. To the price, it's kind of like I would say compared to $10 and versus it for project for web, and $30 and $55 here, it's quite expensive. As soon as you need to do resource management and more advanced feature, you facing that plan 5 pricing of $55 per user per month. As soon as you you want to use more capabilities like portfolio management, resource management, all those features, you need to have very top level license. Okay. Planner, free, part of Office 365, available for everyone. But let's be fair, and we see companies using the many projects in Planner, and they're trying to manage large projects in Planner. But let's focus. It's for small teams. It's more like a personal tool. You can have it it's nice for maybe for few people. But if you try to manage the multi-month, multi-year projects there, you will always face some constraints, problems, limitations, that you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You need to bend around inflexibility and no extensibility in the platform. It's kind of like manual management. It's limited control. There's no reporting out of the box. There's no resource management. It's really no visibility, kind of like enterprise view into that. It's hardly extensible, but you can get more right now with Power Automate. At least you can manipulate some data, but again, like it is it there are some limitations. One of the challenges that we've seen, and it's same for Microsoft Teams, is that over time you can have thousands of Office 365 groups with plans in them, and to understand it becomes a nightmare to manage. Like you need approaches. What means the active project? How do I can see the managed by active project? What to do with the archive project? What to do with personal projects and so on. So it's something that needs to be taken into account. But like for small teams, for personal use, it's a perfect tool to run like small projects for organization, very small initiatives. And nothing can beat free. Another offering which we see in many companies, it's all around agile development. First of all, it's Microsoft Azure DevOps. Some companies tend to use Jira, but I would say that it's kind of like two market leaders. But it's built primarily for software development. And Agile Manifesto, it's all about the building software products. So you need to take into account. Probably you won't run the construction projects on Azure DevOps, and it comes with specifics. If you talk about the portfolio management, if you talk about the like traditional project management, you're talking about some budgets, but the deadlines, milestones, some resource management. But if you say to the team, okay, what is a milestone? What if you didn't complete? Are you late? There's no question about being late in Agile. We just push it to the next sprint and that's it. So it's kind of like it shows that the complexity of environment that you might have. You might have very small project management planner. You might have software projects managed in Azure DevOps. You might have infrastructure projects or networking projects managed in Microsoft Project Online. So it gets complicated, and every tool is different as well as every project is different. And for again, like it's again like for agile tool, like do you track that on project, on solution, or epic, on feature? What is the level of tracking of the detail? So it's really gets complicated environment in which modern PMO need to survive and need to navigate and need to decide how to better organize all the work in the organization. If we add that to the left part, and on the right part we add the different groups within the organization, it really becomes a highly complicated structure. Same in IT, you might have multiple tools. In HR, might use their proprietary tools or maybe use some planner. Look how to get the visibility, how to organize, how to manage, how to structure the process, how to monitor all the work, how to understand what needs to be improved. Uh, it's a challenge. And for PMO again, like PM, like by looking at the picture, we'll say like how do we increase the performance? How do we establish that visibility? How do we better manage resources? How do we implement financial practices? And how do we get that insight from multiple data sources and data in different systems? One of the structures and one of the architectural approach, I would say, it's using the centralized approach. It might work for some organization and work for years for organization, but again, like if you carefully look at the modern organization and understand that it's probably not, it's complex option. I would call it this way. It's a high complex system. Imagine like being able to push data in both directions between project, where like it defined and structured and project and dictated to other tools and teams how it needs to be managed. It creates a lot of the hardwired dependencies between the system or third party solutions that kind of like are merge all the data and monitors. It reduces the autonomy and redundancy of the teams because like if everything is hardly and enforced how to use what to use, it's removed some flexibility from top. It provides more control by external body to the system, so the teams might teams might lose some ability to make their own decision, and it slows down the speed of change, which is so critical in current organization. Another, if you put now one of the tools into the center, that tool become kind of like it's considered to be preferable for by other teams, and it creates some feeling of inequality and superiority for some of the tools and some of the teams. So it is an option. I would say that it's an option maybe if you have one or two components, but again, like if you have multiple components, it might it this approach has its own cons that needs to be taken into account. The question is that is it possible to organize a process or build a system and your PMO and your portfolio management that it can be decentralized, that you have the flexibilities, but to be organized and agile. Today, it's mostly like what we want to show is that we believe that we create such approach and such tools that allows to preserve a lot of the flexibility, agility, and autonomy for the tool, but same like provides that uh, overview and visibility into the work. It's called PPM Express. It's product by our company, and I will do a quick demo later today, just in a few minutes. But again, like our focus that it's you're not replacing tools, you are connecting, and PPM Express is like observing, not enforcing. So it's a tool that allows a PMO to observe what's happening, how the project are progressing, how it's being managed, but they're being managed in the tools, and team has flexibility to manage and do the work their way. It created more independence, autonomy, and agility for organizations. That is just like new change. Okay, there's a new tool. Let's say Microsoft instead of planners, Microsoft is in Planner 2.0, and we want to switch there. teams have that flexibility, simply just go there and switch and use a better tool, use a new tool. It is important. It is important as quick as we can change and adopt to new opportunities and new requirements. The more effective organization will be, and more innovative and more efficient organization would be. One of the important aspects that provides that ability without being the hardwired to one tool or central solution is that if something doesn't work, uh, it's very easy to make the change based on that fault. You know, maybe we cannot run projects on Planner. We need to go to different tool. We just switch the tool, or we incorporate new tool, or if we see that projects that are that being always like late and we do not have time, or like project managers do not have time properly manage projects and project, maybe we need to invest into training or switch a tool for more simpler tool. This approach, and like by monitoring and by observing all this process and project delivery, you can make those changes much easier and much more proactively versus when everything is hardwired. To be 100% transparent, you probably can do the same with using the Power Apps platform, since it's part of Office 365, and you can build a custom app that can do some of those elements. But again, like it's a dilemma of custom solution with product. Take into account the price, take into account the investment that you need to make, then take into account the management, deployment, support, maintenance, all those kind. But is it possible? Yes, it's computers. You can do everything. You can build everything from scratch. But again, consider custom solution versus product, which is an option. Okay, if we compare those centralized approach and more kind of like lightweight, flexible, and monitoring approach that we are observing, not really the controlling and enforcing. We are independent and distributed versus like complex and centralized, where we can adopt to change and more innovate better by being more flexible. We are hardwired. We have rules, policies. We are slowed down because of that, because like you cannot no step to the left or right with reduced time. So again, like consider this option. It is an overview that you need to take into account. And when you work with a vendor, when you work with a partner, ask those questions. How do we deal with that? If especially like they're offering you complex, custom solution, just be aware that it's in most cases you might see just the top of the iceberg, and that's it. Okay. Now I promise it won't be long. We go to PPM Express, so a few minutes on overview and then maybe 10 minutes of demo, and then we can go to our question answer. I'll be more than happy to provide additional details. Few things here about the PPM Express. So you've seen the reason why we build the PPM Express. It's how it's built. Its ability to establish visibility, see all the work, better monitor, but preserving the team flexibility. What we did is we built a product that connects to different systems and it can connect to projects in different location and provides that visibility for your leadership team and for your PMO. You can organize your project into portfolios, programs. You can run analytics with Power BI. If you want, you can make it completely transparent for everyone in your organization, all the projects, so you can improve the transparency without providing access to everyone, for example, to planner, to project, to other tools. We have a resource management, resource planning capabilities, and we are improving that, so you can start building resource plans across your tools, across your departments. especially like for many projects, you need to get resources from different departments, may have availability and load in different tools on different projects, and like that provides better way to manage that. One of the things that we created and we quite proud, it's a system that uses proactive issue detection and forecasting for issues and problems in projects. We use machine learning for that. That will understand your data, that will learn on your data, and will start providing some insights proactively, and no matter where the projects are managed. And it's highly integrated with Office 365 and Microsoft Teams. Right now, our connectors, we can connect to Project Online, DevOps Planner, Teams, Office. We will be later this year, we'll be connecting to ServiceNow and Smartsheets, probably Asana. Asana may likely next year. So there are standard connectors that you can use right now. We have very tight integration with Microsoft Teams. So in fact, we have some customers that use PPM Express even without the web application itself. So they run everything from Microsoft Teams. Only part of the PMO can access application. Another point which is important, Microsoft Teams is a great way to establish that portfolio visibility and transparency for everyone. You can embed application about the projects into Microsoft Teams so everyone can see. And from license standpoint, we support all those approaches where you can connect to, you can embed it and you can make it transparent. So you can add, we have a viewer license, so everyone in your organization, if you choose to, they can view all the details about the projects, and you can control at which level. So let's do a quick demo. I will show that. I promise it won't be just overview. If you need additional demo, please feel free to reach out to us. So play with the tool. There is a free trial. And yeah, let me share my different browser window and we'll go from there. Okay, perfect. So what we have in PPM Express, it's a web application. It runs on Microsoft platform. It runs on Azure. You have ability to build your projects into portfolios. So you start with portfolios. You can have multiple portfolio. You can have one portfolio. Again, all depends on your scenario. Then portfolio, each portfolio has its own kind of like a dashboard where you see timeline, projects that part of the portfolio, statuses, and you can track budgets. You can track milestones for your portfolios and for projects. So every object has its own dashboard. You can use all the different filters and views for your projects. You can see it in the kind of like tile format. You can see it on the list format. You can say, show me all the project with my statuses, where you can control, or show me the projects that are managed, for example, in Microsoft Planner with their stats. So multiple different ways kind of like to connect and slice and dice and information. Each project itself, it has statuses. It has a dashboard that displays all the information of the project. You might have milestones, statuses. For example, this project connected to Planner, you see the summary statistics about the Planner. If it's connected to Microsoft Project, you might be able to see high-level schedules here. And one of the differences in PPM Express that your project can be managed in many tools. Let's see that, for example, you're launching some software product. You might have some development activities, you might have some go-to-market activities, some marketing activities, some multiple tools can be used to track different aspects of project. You can create that hybrid model where different aspects managed in PPM Express. It is integrated with the time tracking. So if you have some information in time tracking system can connect and show that information, how much time was spent per month by specific people in the team. We have our ideation module where you can capture ideas and project requests from your team, where you can prioritize that and create project from that. So you can really start from idea to the delivery and execution of the project. One of the very important aspects that we have is ability to kind of like we call it one-click approach. Is for many systems, everything is in one click. You have task and planner. You have some element. You in most cases you can access that information just in one click. For example, like here, I have milestones that brought in automatically from planner. It's linked to planner. I click here, that will open. It will open planner. It will open you. It will show you that plan and that task. And that goes for projects, that goes for Jira, that goes for Azure DevOps. So everything is kind of like the PPM Express is like absorbing, monitoring, and navigation to view all that information. We use machine learning, as I mentioned, to forecast the most probable statuses for projects and generate the reasoning why the system believes that's a problem. So it will look at all the underlying data that we have, like task milestones, cost information, risk-ation. Based on that, system will forecast the most probable status and will provide reasoning. In addition, we have a system of warning. So system constantly checks your data for inconsistencies and variances. So system will go and will like shows warning. Okay, very simple scenario. Keep your milestones outside of project date. Deal with it, and that milestone can be in planner, where like you might have all that information. Important aspect is we have the tool called the PPM Insights. It's a monitoring tool for PMO and for project manager, focused on personal productivity and better monitoring of your portfolios. As a system will provide you with a dashboard where you can see everything that requires your attention, that you need that requires attention, that you can act or you need to act on. It will show the project with some declining or critical statuses. For example, show project with overall status or schedule status or cost status, at risk or at critical state, late milestones, late tasks, something that decreased just recently or declined in status just recently. Everything that is overdue and late. And again, like it's all again like everything is one click away. I want to open schedule, you can go here. You want to see the task and planner, you can open here. You want to click on that task and planner that is due for this week, you can click and see that information. So we bring all that information just immediately to user to be able to access all that information. And again, like I can see only my project, I can see all projects, I can see, for example, projects that are from Azure DevOps and filter all that information here. Absolutely, you can do that and you can view that information, you can access that information this way, and system gets all that information for you. It's a very nice tool for portfolio managers, for project managers, that you don't have to jump between the different solutions. It's all aggregated, it's all collected, it's all in one place that you can see it and access it from one single place. In PPM Express, we have a resource management module and resource planning module where you can see your resource pool again, like across different systems. Your resources can be on project in different platforms, and you can see availability and over allocation or under allocation for resources in multiple systems. I can click on a resource and see on which projects that user is working on, why he is allocated, why there is which projects that he's assigned, when there are conflicts, why there are conflicts, for how much is over allocated. Again, like as soon as we get that information from different systems, you can create those plans and you can view all that information for your resource plan and make change to your plan as needed. So again, We provide that high-level observing tool where you can monitor your portfolios, you can monitor and you can view all the work, no matter where it's managed. And on top of that, you can use Power BI reports. So we provide you with all the standard Power BI reports. Again, it doesn't matter where your project is running. You can still see the statuses. You can still see what's late, what's not, pending ideas where you people are working on. You can create a status report for your projects in Azure, for your Epic and Azure from Azure DevOps, or project or plan from Planner, since you have that kind of like some standardized approach in PPM Express, so you can use it. You can use that information. You can use that information here. Microsoft Teams, as I mentioned, you can embed it here. Next to it, I have my planner. Here I have schedule. Here I have my Power BI. And if needed, and if I have permissions, I can simply just go here and change the data. So by integrating that solution to Planner, you provide the integrated experience for your users. They can access all that information immediately. Okay, that's a high level overview. Let me switch back to presentation and we'll go from there. Okay, perfect. So a few summary points before kind of like going to questions and answers. So definitely Microsoft Office 365 provides many tools for project management and for portfolio management. And be flexible, use multiple tools, use third-party tools. Like, it is okay, and it's probably good for organization to try different things. But define policy and have approach for new tools, how you react, how do you work with the team, how do you what teams need to do that. So at the same time, you don't want to end up with hundreds of tools. That would be challenging. Find strategy, understand your reporting requirements, understand what leadership and what PMO needs. Try to configure, make sure that the tool support all that information. Very big question is that do you use a centralized or that decentralized approach when you're building your PM portfolio management strategy with in more organizations? So take into account all those things. If you decide again, like implementation approach, build versus product, very important location, very important question, because you're talking about the multi-year investment, and you need to take into account the flexibility versus build versus the maintenance cost and so on. Compare the licenses cost. Try to get understand the license, because it is very complicated with multiple solutions and multiple different options. If you decide to go with a build approach, engage a partner for all work or part of the work, so it is important. On our end, definitely we recommend the product versus a custom build, because in the long term, it's more effective and it's less costly solution. Okay, our promise from PPM Express that we provide that visibility. It's simple app. Everything is in one place and you can use it. We are working on adding more capabilities and more connectors, so you can connect to leading systems. Again, like, we have a free trial. We can do a demo for you or run a pilot. So if you're interested and you're facing those challenges with portfolio management and you're looking how to organize it, I'll be more than happy to work with you and show how that works and discuss. First of all, thank you for joining me today. Again, like, I tried to provide the overview, like how you can run portfolios project on Microsoft Office 365 platform, and provide our way and our suggestion how you can use it and get all the system together. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We have a free trial for PPM Express, so you can play with it. We can do a demo. We can contact us. You can learn more about the product on our website. Thank you and have a great day.